self-employed is a dream. You get to set your own hours. No one is telling you what to do. You get to stay home. But how do you balance all of that freedom with actually building a brand and getting shit done? Today I'm going to share with you 10 tips to stay motivated and productive if you are a work from home girly. So if you're new here, I'm Monet. If you're not new here, welcome back, girl. And be sure to hit that subscribe button before you leave. But let's talk about how I stay productive and motivated all day as a full-time self-employed mindset coach and content creator. My first absolute must when working from home is make your bed as soon as you get up. And the reason why is because if your bed is made, it helps you resist the temptation to crawl back into it. You're literally home all day and nobody is telling you what to do or when to do it. It can be very easy to fall into the temptation to just crawl in bed for like 15 more minutes and then you end up spending your entire day watching YouTube, laying in bed, and not actually building your brand. Even as a girly, you need to set work hours. Otherwise, it's just way too easy to get caught up in a 16-hour workday or an 18-hour workday, or to get caught up in a day where you run a few errands, do a few home things, and end up ending your day with actually no work done. Depending on what you do, maybe you completely can set your own hours. Maybe there's hours that you need to be available for clients, but you need work hours and they can change every day as long as you have set hours so that you know what time you're clocking in and clocking out, and you can maintain a healthy and happy work-life balance while still building your business. Third is set up a dedicated workspace. Even if you're in a really small apartment, you can do this at your kitchen counter, you can do it at your dining table, but if at all possible, try to avoid working in the same room that you sleep. You want your relaxation and sleep space to be just for relaxation and sleep so that when you are in that space, your brain is trained to stop working on things and allow your body to rest and reset. I am lucky enough to have a home office. I work in my office most of the time. I also have a couch desk that I like to work at every once in a while, but I try to make it a habit to primarily work at my desk in my office. And then when I leave my office for the day, I turn off the lights, I clock out, and it really helps you maintain a work-life balance when your workspace and your home are the same place. Fourth is pretty specific to content creators, but even if you're an entrepreneur who is computer-based, something that has absolutely changed the way I work is charge all your devices overnight. And I know that some devices say not to charge them overnight because it can damage the battery. So obviously use your discretion at what you are charging, but I've made it a habit to plug in all my devices at the end of the day, and it has been game changing, especially for filming. I cannot tell you how many times I sat down to film a YouTube video and all 3 of my camera batteries are dead. But that hasn't happened since I made this rule for myself, and it has helped so much. So at the end of my day, I plug in my phone, my iPad, camera batteries, any lights that need recharging. I plug it all in. I shut off the lights. I go to bed. There is one camera I have that says not to charge it overnight, and so that one I just set an alarm for about an hour and a half later, and I come in and unplug it. When you wake up and all of your devices are charged and there are just no roadblocks to actually getting your work done, it just is such a stress reliever. It makes your day flow easier. It's so simple but so useful. Next up is blue light glasses, and I've had blue light glasses off and on throughout the years, but this year I bought a 3-pack from Amazon. It was only $15 and they actually fit my face really nicely. I was getting a lot of headaches when I became a full-time content creator, and I think part of that is due to the lights, but mostly it was how much time I'm spending on my computer. And then when I started my coaching business, it got even worse and I was experiencing some insomnia and headaches. So I did 2 things to combat eye strain. I first wear blue light glasses as often as possible if I'm looking at a screen, and I also bought screen protectors that are blue light blocking. They have a little bit of a yellowish tint to them, but you don't really notice them on your phone, and it has made such a big difference. I was getting migraines almost every night, and I haven't had one in probably 2 months now. The next rule is do not eat at your desk. When I first started working from home full time, I was eating at my desk almost every day, and it can be so tempting to just skip your lunch break, be extra productive, and work all the way through the day. I also set an alarm on my phone to remind myself to take a lunch, and it's become such a nice way of honoring me as a person, because I want my life to be about more than just building a brand. I also want to take the time to really care for myself. Take a lunch break, do something you enjoy midday, and set an alarm to get back to work, come back refreshed and ready to continue on for the rest of the day. Next is to move once an hour, and it sounds so simple, but trust me, your back and shoulders will thank me. I also know that you can get a walking pad. I personally don't really like working and walking at the same time, so I don't have a walking pad. Invest in a good desk chair. There are so many on Amazon. It doesn't have to be super expensive. I want to say that my desk chair was around $100. The one I had before this desk chair was a really cute green velvet one, and I loved it, but it killed my back. Even sitting in it for 3 or 4 hours, I was so miserable. Now that I have a ergonomic desk chair, it's not as cute, but it's fine, and my back thanks me every single day. Have a soundtrack to work to, especially if you're not on calls or a customer-facing position. Listen to lo-fi jazz. I like to listen to French jazz, French lo-fi, coffee shop. Even if you just go on Spotify or Apple Music and type in like lo-fi beats or music to study to, you'll find something that works for you, and I find it just creates a nicer atmosphere, and I really enjoy it. I also know that a lot of people work to white, brown, or pink noise, and some people find that that makes them more productive. I'd rather listen to some nice jazz, little vibey music situation. Listen to something, like make your environment fun. Ninth is be real with yourself and set boundaries. When I first moved into full-time working from home instead of working in an office, I would spend hours and hours and hours on the phone with my friends or my family, watching podcasts in the background, but then actually getting distracted and just watching a podcast. Just generally not using my time productively and not actually spending really focused time on my business. So I figured out that I needed to set boundaries. Once I did that, I saw an increase in my productivity, and not only did it make working easier, but I also started to feel better about myself. 10 is turn off your notifications at the end of the day. Similar to the idea of clocking out, if you have Apple products, you can set up different focuses. I have a focus that stops giving me my work email and only allows the people on my favorites list to contact me, and I turn that on in the evenings when I'm done for work. And that really just helps you create that I'm clocked out even though I'm still at home mentality. It also gives you time to refresh and recharge, especially if you work in a creative field. It is super, super important that you take time to reinvigorate your creative mind. So at the end of the night, I clock out, I turn off my work focus, I turn on my home focus, and I will check them when I clock back in the morning. And a bonus tip is try to find ways to hack your work system. Find a way to work smarter, not harder. There are so many things nowadays that you can automate or delegate. Delegation is really, really hard, especially when you're first starting out, but it can be so helpful. I would love to hear what your work from home career is, so drop what you do in the comments below, and drop any tips that you have found that have helped you stay motivated and productive as a work from home girly. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember, you are wonderful and wise in all the good things, and until next time, I will see you next time. Bye guys!